What's up guys, it's Salvajee. So in this video I'm going to be teaching you guys what are some of the best beginner weapons in Anthem, give you guys some gameplay examples with them, so of course you guys have a general idea of how the weapon handles. And I just want to point out my 100 tips video on Anthem is linked in the description below. 100 tips in total, a lot of beginner tips, a lot of tips that you absolutely want to know about, so make sure that you check out that video. With that said, let's get straight into this video. The heavy pistol that I had a lot of success with as I was in the early game is the blast pack. It has really good hip fire, amazing damage, really fast rate of fire, and pretty decent range. This thing has the range of an assault rifle. Anyways, the reason why I really enjoyed myself with the blast pack is because since it has a really fast rate of fire, if you're like really up close to a target, you can basically just hip fire in front of a shielded target and basically just bring down their shield immediately. And if you're a beginner player, you can't apply status effects into an enemy if they have shields. So that's why I really like the blast pack, as I was of course in the early game. Just a really good, useful heavy pistol in general. Make sure that you use that beast. When it came down to shotguns, right, I used a couple of shotguns. I didn't really find any success with any of them. Reason for that is because if I just wanted high burst damage, I could always of course just use my abilities, or I could use the blast pack heavy pistol. Assault rifles, by far, you know, an assault rifle that I had a lot of success with as I was playing the game was the Warden. Alright, I really like this assault rifle. It's a full round burst, but despite the fact that it's a full round burst, it has a really decent rate of fire, 36 bullets in the magazine, really good range, and on top of all that, since it has a really fast fire rate and pretty decent damage, you're able to of course dish out some pretty decent damage numbers to bosses and shielded targets, etc. So make sure that you absolutely get your hands on the Warden. And an honorable mention for assault rifles, I really enjoyed myself using the Hammerhead. It's you know, an assault rifle that does some pretty decent damage, but you know, at the cost of fire rate, and that's why of course I prefer the Warden over the Hammerhead. Alright, when it comes down to marksman rifles, I enjoyed my time with the Guardian in the early game. 24 bullets in the magazine, really decent damage, really fast fire rate for a 3-round burst weapon, which actually makes it really good. I really also like the Guardian as a secondary weapon on my Interceptor, for example. Or I like the Guardian of course as a primary weapon on my Interceptor if I was of course running a sniper, which of course we're going to talk about the best sniper soon. But yeah, long story short, the reason why the Guardian is so good is because at ranges you can actually do some pretty decent damage to any type of target. And keep in mind, you do have a really fast fire rate with this thing, so you're going to be able to dish out some pretty decent amount of burst damage. This is the marksman rifle that I enjoyed the most as I was in the early game, because in the early game you do want to, you know, dish out some fast damage pretty quickly, if of course you are playing on hard and you know you want to take out those shields as fast as possible. I prefer the Guardian over other marksman rifles because it just has a, you know, bigger magazine size, and the fire rate and the damage that it put out basically was almost very similar to other marksman rifles. Alright, machine pistols. Here's why you should not use machine pistols, because throughout the 60 hours that I've placed in this game, every time that I'm running a machine pistol, I get the no audio bug. So don't run machine pistols. It's not a good idea. So light machine guns, the Relentless. Alright, this was the best light machine gun that I used throughout my time playing Anthem as I was in the early game. This thing is a beast, high rate of fire, pretty decent damage, really good magazine size, I believe at about 100 or 75, really decent range as well. And for the most part, something that I like about light machine guns in Anthem is that you could be using these things at medium range and they're not even going to have any damage fall off at all at times. It's just a really good overall weapon to have if you just want to have a weapon that is going to of course dish out some fast damage very quickly, or of course if there's a lot of trash ads and you just want to take them out, the Relentless is of course the way to go. Let's get into the good stuff though. Snipers. You absolutely want the Devastator sniper rifle. This thing is one of the best snipers in the game. It throws a bullet and on contact the bullet explodes. And I actually have the masterwork version of the Devastator. Yes, I still can't believe that I got it, and I got it with super OP perks too, kind of. Anyways, so you absolutely want the Devastator, guys, because in Tyrant Mine on Grandmaster 1 with a targeted B-gun on the final boss, I'm doing up to 110,000 damage with the Devastator. So get the Devastator and strive to get the masterwork version of the Devastator as fast as possible. Anyways, last but not least, let's talk about autocannons, because when it comes down to grenade launchers, I honestly didn't have a lot of success with them, and I just found myself, you know, just better using an autocannon. And the autocannon that I liked using the most was the Torrents. Overall, 200 bullets in the magazine, even though with the autocannons, at least at the moment, you waste 2 bullets every time that you fire. So long story short, you're gonna have a total of 100 bullets in the magazine, but the longer you fire this weapon, the more accurate it is of course going to get, which means the more headshots you're gonna be able to get as well. Just overall a pretty decent autocannon if of course you do want to run the Colossus. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Those are the best beginner weapons in Anthem when it comes down to the early game. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Check out my 100 tips video. Very important video, very informational video, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.